Hello, everyone. Youngling Jr. So, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, he's absolving people convicted of more than 175,000 cannabis-related crimes. Now, he's pardoning them. This was actually be one of the most sweeping state levels pardon in American history. Now, the large scale, they said absolution comes a year after Maryland legalized recreational marijuana use. Now, the lion's share of the cases are misdemeanors. Yeah, a lot of people's locked up for that, and ever since they legalized it. They said more than 150,000 convictions are for possessions of cannabis, and more than 18,000 convictions are for possessions with intent to use drug paraphernalia. Okay. And I quote, they said, "We cannot celebrate the benefits of legalization if we do not address the consequences of criminalization." Moore, the Democrat, said before signing an executive order issuing the pardons on Monday. The governor's office did not specify how many people would be affected by the pardons, nothing that one person could have multiple eligible convictions. And while the initial tally focuses on cases in the state's computerized system, people with records that predate the system could also seek to have an even decades-old conviction absolved. Wow. Excuse me. So they said pardons aim to ease burdens of past convictions. Results of guilt that would not result in anyone getting out of jail. When Maryland legalized adult marijuana use and established a cannabis market last year, it halted the types of cases covered by the pardons. But Moore said his actions look to ease the cascading social and economic damage wrought by the war on drugs. That really definitely profoundly destroyed the Black and Hispanic communities. I mean, you can think about that too back in the 70s and 80s too. Originally, Richard Nixon was president, and you got Ronald Reagan. And, a lot of people were actually locked up. And also, too, I was listening to this. We had Joe Rogan had a podcast with Freeway Ricky Ross. And he was just stating that, when he was selling it at first, the CIA, these high government officials actually literally planted these drugs in the communities. And then, they was locking people up for, making a profit out of it or just utilizing it. So it was just crazy, and that's when the three-strike rule, you're out, was kind of implemented back in the 90s when Bill Clinton was in office. But nationwide, it said that ACLU said in 2020 that Black people were 3.64 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana possessions than whites. Yep. Despite similar usage rates. And while the number of such arrests dropped in many states, racial disparities persisted, the group said, citing figures as recent of 2018. Moore signed the executive order in Maryland State House, appearing alongside Attorney General Anthony Brown. Now, the pair are the first Black holders of those offices in their state, and both men spoke about the need to make new history. Past drug policy, he said, contributed to minorities having less access to jobs. Yeah, housing, education opportunities. And when you get a felony on your record, you can barely do temp. So, how can you really get yourself, get your foot in the door when it comes to, applying for these different industries, man? And so you can definitely be a productive citizen in society. But when you're so institutionalized, you like, no one's giving me a chance. You just go back to crime. They go back to the prisons because they said, at least I have, a roof over my head, feed me, all the shelter, all this type of stuff. So this is some people's mindset when they actually hit rock bottom. I think this is a decent gesture here. Some people might not believe in this. Like I say, everybody's entitled to their opinion. But removing criminal convictions for those who's been who's been caught with possession of marijuana, I think that's a big good step in the right direction here. So, yeah, man, especially with first time offenses too. I want to say this too. Too many lives have been upended because of our failed approach to marijuana. It's time that we right these wrongs, Biden said in 2022 when he announced pardons for thousands of people convicted of simple marijuana possessions under the either federal law or DC statute. Yeah, this is really history, man. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Do y'all agree with Governor Wes Moore's decision on here? Because this is really huge. This is the biggest in your state's history. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share this video. That's what you have to say. I love you guys, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm out. Deuces.